Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Sean, aka elyyt, but it won't be that way here on YouTube for long. I'm going to tell you guys the name change, as well as any other questions that possibly longtime subscribers would have about me disappearing for a while. But before we get into that boring stuff, we have to talk about things that are much more exciting, like the top 50 ratings for FC25. This is, by the way, confirmed. These are confirmed ratings, and the stats and the play styles. The entire database is pretty much leaked already. And so we're going to go over the top 50 as well as some of the more prevalent lower rated cards like Endrick, Lamine Yamal, Cristiano Ronaldo, unfortunately does not make the top 50. And somebody else who doesn't make the top 50 is Neymar, who's 87 rated. But I mean, technically he's tied, right? Tied with Sommer and all the other 87s that are on this list. But I think it's just random, the players that made this graphic in particular. There are some other 87s, however, that aren't in this graphic. Neymar's one of them. Obviously, he transferred to Al Hilal, got hurt pretty quick, and hasn't played in anything. Copa America, nothing. And generally, that's going to make you get a downgrade. 87, though, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse, right? Ronaldo fans, either way. We've got Undawan, who's getting an upgrade from 86 to 87. Decent year at Barcelona. I don't know if it warranted an upgrade either way. Whether he's 85, 86, 87, or 90 rated, he's just too slow. That is fodder from day one. Literally day one. And I think that's one of the big problems with the fact that the game moves a little bit too quick now. Yes, we do have a lot of fun promos, and we have all of that, but it makes these cards really fodder a lot quicker than it used to be. I want a longer period at the beginning of the game where these gold cards are usable. Not only usable, but one of the marquee, cards in the game. We don't have promo after promo that just replace the gold cards right away. In so many SBCs that make these cards fodder right away. And that's what I hope FC25 delivers, but knowing the path that we've gone down over the last few years, it's not likely. Either way, Martinez gets another upgrade, goes up +2 after winning Copa America. De Jong, the exact same card he was last year. Jamal Musiala getting a small upgrade right there, though his pace is down by 1, his dribbling is down by 1. And then Bastoni is quickly becoming one of the highest rated center backs in the game. And so is William Saliba. And to be honest, Saliba could be even higher rated than 87. I think he's a top 2 center back in the world. He's going to be very good, though. Good pace, good defense, good physicality, decent distribution stats. And then Jan Sommer finally getting some recognition. The Inter Milan logo, a little weird. Did they rebrand their logo again? I feel like they just did a few years ago. Inter Milan, I don't know if that logo just looks weird on the picture. Either way, Dabinya, pretty much the exact same card as last year, except for she has a new play style now. Kadadiatu Diani is getting a downgrade. Still a good card, and it links to other players that play for Olympique Lyon in the Women's League. I know a lot of people still pretty unhappy with the fact that the women's players are so high rated. And at this point, after the goalkeepers have been playing striker in Ultimate Team for 2 years now, I think it's just about time we just get over it. This game is not based on the reality of the game. I mean, literally last year, Harry Maguire had a card that was 98 rated, and it played striker. So, I mean, come on, guys. It's not supposed to completely mirror what's going on out in the real world. It's just a game. Either way, we've got Ederson, pretty much the same card. Maybe, did he get a slight downgrade? No, I think he was 88 last year, and so was Bernardo Silva. Then we've got Endler. Just fodder straight away. You can't really use any of the women's cards in goalkeeper. That's the thing, because height matters so much for the goalkeepers. And even though Endler, I think, is like 6 foot, maybe 6'1", I actually don't know. You just don't see too many of the women's goalkeepers getting used. Phil Foden, big upgrade to 88 this year. He's got stats all around, super well balanced, and if he can play center attacking mid, I think that's going to be a really good card because he's also got that technical playstyle plus, and at least last year, that technical playstyle plus, I think, was one of the most underrated playstyle plus. And then you've, of course, got the very overpowered finesse shot plus with Griezmann, who's going to be 88th this year. Patrick Guiaro and Irene Paredes, hyperlink with the Barcelona women's players. You've got Marie-Antoinette Katoto, pretty similar card to last year. I don't think I saw too many people use this in the first month last year, and it's really the same card. Then we've got Kobel, who's a top 5 rated goalkeeper in the game now, and the highest rated player from Dortmund, and I believe he's the second highest rated player in Bundesliga this year after, well, you've got Wirtz who's tied with him, of course, but you've got Harry Kane later in this video. Beth Mead is the Arsenal right wing there, kind of slow for a winger. Again, you kind of want those kind of cards that have great dribbling, good shooting, good passing, and not as much pace to be more center attacking mid players, but maybe with some upgrades it'll be usable. Then you've got Wendy Renard with 48 pace, so that's straight up fodder right away. Ruben Diaz, pretty slow. Rudiger, that's usable. That'll be very expensive and probably one of the better investments to make on day one if you can get Rudiger on your hands. By the way, you guys should subscribe to the channel if you want trading tips, advice. That's going to be coming out very, very soon throughout September. In October and November, really, it's going to be flooding the channel. All this trading tips and the trading to glory is going to be returning. Rudiger is going to be one of those cards I look for early because it's high rated, tough to pack, and it'll be very usable. Then you've got Federico Valverde. This is one of those cards that I think it's going to be used a ton early on because it's so quick for a midfielder, and it just depends on how much pace is relied on. But it's part of the Gullit gang, and it is pronounced Gullit. We learned that last year that Ruud Gullit came out and said that it's not pronounced Hullet. So our entire life is a lie. Then we've got Florian Wirtz, who's 88 rated, and that is a completely deserved upgrade. And then we've also got our top 25, so let's go ahead and head into that now. Top 25 ratings, I just got to pull it up here. You've got Oblak, right then for Chelsea. Maybe get some links to the 57 Chelsea players on the men's side that they're signing, just starting an army. I think that the North London might have an army that rivals the likes of Russia and USA by the end of this transfer window because Chelsea have more young men in their squad rotation than I think the U.S. Navy does. So it's pretty incredible. Wrighton's going to link to all of those. Lionel Messi. That's the big one, boys. Messi. Downgraded. It's finally happened. He's no longer 90 plus, and it's been well over a decade. Well over a decade. He is now under 80 pace. He is now under 90 rated. And to be honest, the dribbling's kind of low. 92 dribbling from Messi seems disrespectful. But then again, he is getting old, and this was bound to happen. And I'm going to cry the day he retires. Unfortunately, it is creeping up on us. He's announced that he's not going to leave Inter Miami. He's not going to go anywhere else. He's going to retire there. The question is when. And God, I don't want to see that day. I know it's coming. Then we've got Alisson, our first 89 rated card. We've got three goalkeepers. We've got Courtois, Alisson, and Donnarumma. Courtois obviously went through some drama. I uploaded it to my Nitro football channel, which, by the way, I'll link down in the description. That's the channel I've been working on YouTube over the course of the last couple of months. Ever since I stopped uploading to this channel, I've been grinding out videos for that channel. It's a different style. It's not gaming, but it is football related. So if you're interested in that, the link is down below. And I also have a second channel for that as well called Nitro Charged. So if you've been wondering where I've been, I've still been here on YouTube, just kind of creating a new brand. And that kind of segues me into the fact that this channel is going to be called Nitro Gaming here shortly. I'm going to stick with elyyt until, I guess, FC 25 begins, and then I'm going to change it to Nitro Gaming just so that all of the YouTube channels have the same brand name. And it's really just, it's a push because I want to be able to do this full time. I work other jobs, I always have, but I really want to give 100% effort to try to make it to where I can do YouTube full time because this is my passion. It's what I love to do. And hopefully we can make it work. So if you guys, want to see that happen for me, you can drop a comment down below and of course, check out the other channels down in the description. Mapi Leon, 75 pace. That is an 89 rated. Fodder. I mean, so many of these cards just go right into fodder. Lautaro Martinez, 89 rated. He's getting Ballon d'Or shouts as well. And I think it's deserved. He's won a lot with Inter Milan. He won the Copa with Argentina. I think that it's genuinely deserved. You've got Martin Odegaard, Salah, and Hegerberg. Salah still up there, still similar stats, and he's got the finesse shot plus. If that's OP again this year, that's going to be a card to get. Hegerberg's too slow. Odegaard's honestly, he'll probably be usable with 70 pace just for like the first week, and then he'll go he'll fade into obscurity and unusability. Sophia Smith, 89 rated, just won the Olympics with the USA. So I guess, you know, that rating is justified right there. 93 pace, first touch plus, 86 shooting, 89 dribbling, 84 physicality. That might be an expensive card. If you can find some links for Sophia Smith, that is actually OP. That is very good. Then you've got Ter Stegen, another 89 rated goalkeeper. And then for some reason, Van Dijk is going to be playing goalkeeper this year. So again, no, I'm just kidding. That's obviously a typo. He's a center back. And he'll be OP as well. He's got the, what is that? The aerial plus right there. Last year he was one of the best center backs. You really did need the anticipate plus though last year. It was vital for center backs, for any defenders really. And then you've got Jude Bellingham, upgraded all the way to a 90 rated card. Another player who's getting Ballon d'Or shouts. So again, justified rating. De Bruyne though, for the last 7 years has been 91 rated. Now De Bruyne is 90 rated. He went from 91 to 90 for the first time. He's literally been 91 rated for 7 years straight. The run is finally over, and a lot of that probably due to the injuries that he's suffered over the course of the last year. Didn't play a ton for Manchester City post the treble run. Caroline Graham-Hansen, I packed that card at the beginning of FC 24. Hopefully that'll happen again. It was tradable, and I made like 1.2 million coins off of that. So if we can get the trading to glory off to a quick start like it did last year with Caroline Graham-Hansen getting in our pack, we'll be doing just fine. Harry Kane, slower than my grandma, unfortunately. So even though he's 90 rated with 93 shooting, it's not going to be great until he gets some special cards. Sam Kerr, 90 rated. Obviously, one of the best women's players in the game. And then Alexia Putellas, who won back-to-back Ballon d'Ors for the Ballon d'Or Feminine, is now getting a downgrade to 90 rated, as Aitana Bonmati, next to my face cam here, is now the highest rated player for the women. But the one card that is hiding behind my face cam is the Brazilian man, the man who's probably the favorite to win Ballon d'Or, despite the fact that I do think it should be Rodri personally. But Vinicius Jr. is going to be 90 rated this year with 95 pace. A card that's going to be worth millions early on. Erling Haaland's going to be probably a few 100K. And then Mbappe, now that he's transferred from PSG as well, so he's going to get the Real Madrid links, as well as being the best gold card in the game pretty consistently over the last few years. That is going to be millions upon millions of coins right away. Then you've got Rodri, 66 pace. Kind of an underwhelming finish because even though he's got 5 stats, 80 and above, almost part of the Gullit gang, the pace, even if the game continues to change, even if the game continues to go in a direction where pace is less needed, or you've got other stats that they find a better balance, they never get away from the fact that pace is a vital factor of this game. It doesn't translate. The players like Toni Kroos went his entire career at the highest level of the game, and he never really got his flowers because everybody saw his pace in FIFA was 42, and they just assumed he was terrible because they couldn't use him in his ultimate team. The casuals just do not understand how good Toni Kroos is, how good Rodri is, how good these center mids that for some reason FC or EA nerfed their pace a ton. Thomas Muller's another example. It just never translates to the game. As much as you'd want it to, pace still reigns supreme. And one thing that I need to point your attention to that I completely skipped over is the fact that Ederson has an outfield playstyle plus. He doesn't have a goalkeeper playstyle there. That is long ball plus, which completely makes sense given his distribution ability. But that is a change going into this year, is that goalkeepers are going to be able to have field player playstyle plus cards. One thing that I completely looked over that is notable is the fact that Ederson has a playstyle plus that is an outfield player's playstyle plus. It's long ball plus, which makes sense for Ederson, given he's one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in the world. His distribution is spectacular, and he can also, I think he has the record for like the longest goal kick or the longest booted ball in history. I think I saw a YouTube video of that one time. Either way, Ederson with a long ball plus, it opens up the door for other goalkeepers to get more play style plus that, you know, maybe one of them gets technical or something as the year goes on. I'm sure they'll get rather crazy with it. But there's also a few players that don't make the top 50 that I want to show you guys. Endrick going up to 77 rated. Yamal only 80 rated. I feel like that's too low. I understand that it's his first FC card. It's the first time he's in the game. But I mean, after the Euros he had, I mean, he's like literally top 10 in favorites to win Ballon d'Or. Is he going to win it? Absolutely not. But like, he's going to win the Young Player of the Year, the Golden Ball or whatever it is. And he won the Euros. He scored some bangers. He's been tearing it up for Barcelona. Already scored this season. I just feel like 83, 84 minimum for Yamal. Endrick obviously hasn't really done much for Brazil yet. Had a pretty poor Copa America and hasn't played for Real Madrid yet, so I can kind of understand the 77. But Yamal, I think, is a little bit too low rated. Rashford gets a massive downgrade, going from 85 to 81, which I think has happened before. A few years ago, he went from 85 to 81, and then he had a great season where he played striker, went back up to 85 last year, and then he had a stinker again. Now he's back down to 81, and I'll tell you what, I don't even think he should be starting for Manchester United right now. When you've got Amad Diallo and Alejandro Garnacho, Rashford just ain't it, to be honest with you. And then you've got Casemiro, who apparently lost a leg. He was already slow, and now he's getting the Sergio Busquets treatment. 38 pace, and he gets a downgrade from 89 to 84. What a fall from grace. Not a good look for Manchester United players so far. Then you've got the big three right here. The once top three for Ballon d'Or, Neymar, Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo, all pretty much downgraded. Cristiano Ronaldo stays the same, actually, and he even gets a boost on physical. He was 86 last year. He's going to be 86 again. Neymar going down to 87, and Messi we already talked about. Van de Ven now has 88 pace for a center back in the Prem, gets the Dutch links. He's going to be a good card early. Will he be the best investment early? Well, probably not, because you want cards that are a little higher rated if you're going to make an early investment on them. But is he going to be a bad investment? Probably not. I just think there's going to be other cards, and we'll talk about those in a future video, so make sure to sub. Then you've got Grimaldo and Frimpong, who last year had an incredible year. I think Grimaldo was seriously underrated, and Frimpong obviously got his flowers. He was even in Team of the Year, but for some reason, Grimaldo's pace went down 13 despite his upgrade to 86. Now, he is left mid. Frimpong is right mid. I wonder if they're going to have right wing back, left wing back, maybe right back, left back as alternate positions. But Grimaldo at 74 pace just doesn't make sense because, I mean, I've watched Bayer Leverkusen games. I've watched a lot of them, in fact. He's not slow. So I don't know why he got a huge downgrade. Maybe by a couple would have been reasonable. 74 just seems super harsh. Then you've also got Rafael Varane. He went to Como 1907. I think he already got hurt, which sucks. But he went to the Serie A with the newly promoted Como team, which I did a video on my second channel, Nitro Charged, about him and Como. But the card's just not as OP as it once was. Rafael Varane was always a starter card for your team. And even though he might still be usable, going out of the Premier League, he's not going to have that Premier League tax and, -6 pace. He's just like any other center back now. It's the end of an era for Rafael Varane. And then you've got N'Golo Kante, who I think that the caption just sums it up. He got a downgrade, yet his card is better. He gets more physical, way more pace, up by 7, and then the rest of his stats stay just about the same. And Kante's always been a decent card despite his pace being kind of low. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more usable, but he does only get Saudi links. So, there's only a few dozen cards that he could play with, and not a lot of them are in the top 50 rankings. So I'll say that. And then you've got some special cards, which we're going to save for a future video. But that's going to be it for today. I know it's been a while since I uploaded, and I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you did, go ahead and say hi down in the comments. I'm going to, talk to you guys down there and answer any questions you guys might have about FC25, where I've been, or what the future holds for our channel. But I'm excited to really, really get at this FC25 content. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.